Hi, this is Linda with CreativePLR.com, and today I'm in Photoshop, and I'm here for a particular reason. So I love PLR, and when I get those mega packs, they come with all sorts of things. Sometimes I don't use all the things, and so I really worked hard at repurposing some of those pieces that it comes with the pack so that I'm getting more for my money. And let me show you what I mean. So, especially with eKit Hub PLR packs, those mega packs include like journals and planners and checklists and affirmation cards and posters and social media posts, covers for the journals and planners, as well as coloring pages. So you could do a lot with all of that, but you also have the option of repurposing it. And so some of them, and this is one of their files, it's the coloring pages. I can't remember, it says it's routine. So it's from one of their packs. And if I just use this coloring page, okay, this is it right here. Now, what you need to understand about seeing it comes with coloring page that's got an affirmation on it, or a quote, or a saying. And so what you need to understand about Photoshop is it's all about the layers. And right now I've got the layers open, and you could see, it looks like there's two different things going there. Think about layers like pages or papers in a file folder. You could pull one paper out and use it separately, or you could keep it in a file folder where you have all these pages together. And that's kind of like this. Now, if you go over here and I look at a file that I was using earlier, look, I have all these layers and they look like they're all turned on. Or I can start turning them on and off and getting different results. And so that's the whole idea behind this layering. Okay, so the first thing I would suggest you do with these coloring pages, you find a coloring page you like, and I really like this one, let's save that one. So we go over here, we'd say File, Export, and I always save it as a PNG, but you could save it as a JPEG, you could save it as a PDF, whatever you want to save it as, there is an option there for you. Okay, so you could save it, and you could save it on your desktop or a file folder. And so you could just have individual coloring pages. So when I was Googling something about PLR the other day, it says that each pack of PLR is sold from, on average, between 200 to 500 people. So 200 to 500 people have this coloring page with this saying on it, on average. I don't know this particular pack, but I'm saying on average. It could be more, it could be less, okay? But I don't want other people to have exactly what I have. So I'm going to save my coloring pages just like that, but I'm not going to stop there. The other thing that I could do is, see, I have a white background here now. Now, there's an easier way of doing this, but what I'm going to do, there's a little lock. I'm going to unlock that, and I'm also going to turn off the guides so that I don't see that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, fit on screen. And then now I just have this coloring page, but this is actually a nice design. I could do a lot with it. So what I want to do is, on my left-hand side where I have all my tools, I want to go over to this tool that's my Magic Eraser tool. And what this is going to do, it's going to erase anything I want to erase. I'm going to erase my background, my white background, from some of the areas, not all of them, just some of them, so that I can use this design for a cover. Let me see. And so you can go through, you can see, just do it. Now, if you make a mistake and you go, oh, no, I didn't mean to do that, you just go over here to edit at the top and say undo Magic Eraser. And then you could just go back to what you were doing, and you can erase as little or as much as you'd like to. Okay. And so I'm going to get rid of these corners. I'm going to get rid of this. So I'm going to fast forward it so that I'm going to have my erasing done, and you can see what I've got. So I'm just finishing up here, and I think that's the last of it. And oh, I forgot this piece. Usually when I start playing with the color, I realized I forgot to get rid of a piece. But I think that looks pretty good, pretty even. Of quickly discover if you've forgotten something. It'll be so obvious. Okay, so now that background where it looks like it's that checkerboard, that tells us that's transparent. And so what I've done is in the bottom, I've used this little plus sign and I've added layers. And with those layers, I've added color just by going over here. Right now it's pink. Let's say I want a really dark color. I'm going to turn off the coloring page layer. I'm going to go to this one, go to my paint bucket, and I'm going to make it really dark. Okay. Then when I turn that back on, so now I have a dark purple behind the coloring image. Okay. So I kind of like that. And that's one of the nice things about filling this in. Now, that would look actually pretty on a cover. You could put a circle right here in the center, my coloring journal. This journal belongs to, right in the middle to cover that flower up. Or you could put it across the top or the bottom. That would look great. If you don't like the purple, let's try the pink. Let's try this light color. I actually like the light color. I actually like that. I want to say the light colors look better, but who knows? And so any of these you like, you can do the same as you did before. You can go over here and you can say File, Export, and save as a PNG. And they would be perfect. You could do a whole set of different colors like that. Now, that's not the only thing. Now, I didn't take anything out of this. And it could be that maybe I need to make sure that layer is highlighted. And so maybe I need to go in and take out some of this for the next thing I want to show you. Because let's say, oh, that was too much. I'm just going to do that corner so you can get the idea of what I'm doing. And so I do want to, you have to have kind of a steady hand for this, which I don't necessarily have. Okay, so I want to show you the other thing that you can do with this. So I actually do like this. I think this is pretty. So the other thing I could do is, we're going to put a color. I think I'm going to go with that light color. And so I'm going to take this color and put on top. And remember, once I make it live, now we can't see anything because the layers are top down. So whatever's on top is going to be visible. So our coloring page was on top before, and so I could see the coloring page. But if I put this light turquoise on top, I'm not going to be able to see it. However, let's say I wanted that turquoise in there somewhere. So I go over here with this layer highlighted. I right click and I say create clipping mask. And now it looks like it almost looks like lace, doesn't it? So I have the pink in the background. Okay. And see that corner that I went in and I took out more? That it does need a little bit more. If you're going to use a clipping mask, it needs a little bit more taken out. Otherwise, you have too many white spaces, okay? But you've got a lot to choose from. So that's another option for you to use that. Now, we're not done yet, because at the beginning, we had this coloring page before I started taking the background out of it, and we have that saying. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the glow. Okay, and all I do is I just turn it off like that. Okay, but I'm going to leave the stroke on, and I can actually change the stroke if I want. Go down to FX, and I could go to stroke, and I could make it another color if I wanted to. Right now it's a black, but if I wanted to make it, I love purple. If I wanted to make it purple, I could do that. Okay, change it a little bit. And if you're going to make this into a sticker or word art, you could, I mean, they look great on divider pages inside a journal, but you might want to make, this is an 8.5 by 11-inch page. You might want to make it smaller if you're going to use it as word art. And so what you would have to do is you would click on text, and you would have to go up here and see at the top where it says 150. That is way too big. So we're going to, maybe 48 is too small. And so maybe 60 is just right. Maybe 72 is just right. And so you'd have to kind of experiment with that and see what you like. The other thing, maybe you're not crazy about that font. Maybe you want something bigger, something less script. So you go over here, and sometimes it just substitutes a font because you don't have all the fonts. And so you can just go down here. I actually like that. I don't know what that is, but I actually like that. You can go down here and you can actually try them all. Some of them are good for coloring, and some of them are going to be great filled in. And you can just kind of try that what you like. I actually like that too. Oh, of course I do. That's my favorite font. Okay, so you can do that. And if you want it filled with a different color, you could go do that. Now, I have a purple outline, so I could fill it with a lighter purple and see if that works. And that didn't work. So it would look like that. Take off the color overlay to get rid of the effects, which makes it, it's glowing a little bit. There's a drop shadow behind it, which makes it really hard to read. So let's go in and let's change it to pink. You can read it a little bit better now. And so you could use the text separately, put it on a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a cup, a notebook. You could use the text separately from the coloring page. And even if you only use just the coloring page and the text separately in one way each, you're still getting a 2-for-1 deal. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful, and you'll start looking at your PLR and you'll start repurposing it a little bit more, even if you have to use Photoshop. Now, I will add Photoshop files, those PSD files, do work in Affinity, I'm told. So if you use Affinity, you could actually load them up and use them there and do just what I've done. I hope this helps. Until next time, keep creating.